the Province of Bukidnon, the Honorable IPMR Renato S. Sambungan. This honorable body will now hold its brief ceremony as we witness the taking of oath of affirmation for the new member of the 28th SP, and as provided in Section 2, Rule 1 of the Implementing Rules and Procedure of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, which reads that the members of the Sangguniang shall take their oath of affirmation collectively or individually before they enter into the exercise of their powers and or the performance or discharge of their functions and duties. The oath of affirmation of the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan shall be administered by the presiding officer. Hence, we request everybody to please rise as we witness the oath taking before the presiding officer of the 28th SP, the Honorable Provincial Vice Governor Clive D. Kenyo.
Okay. May hapon na to.
Hapon.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Renato Sumbungan,
having been elected
having been elected
as the Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative
Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative
of the Province of
of
Bukidnon,
the Province of Bukidnon,
do solemnly swear
to solemnly swear
that upon assumption of office
that upon assumption of office
as an ex officio board member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan,
and ex officio board members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan,
I will faithfully discharge
I will faithfully discharge
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
the powers,
the powers,
duties,
duties,
and
and
functions
function
of my present position
of the present position
in accordance
in accordance
with the provision in Section 468 of RA number 7160,
with the provision of Section 468 of Republic Act number 7160,
and that I will conscientiously observe
and that I will consistently observe
the existing internal rules of procedure
the internal rules of procedures
adopted by the Sangguniang,
adopted by the Sangguniang,
and of all others I may hereafter hold
and all other after hold
under the Republic of the Philippines,
under the Republic of the Philippines,
that I will uphold and defend the Constitution
that I will uphold and defend the Constitution
of the Republic of the Philippines,
to the Republic of the Philippines,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance of the same,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees promulgated
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees promulgated
by the duly constituted authorities,
by the duly constituted authorities,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
and that I post this obligation upon myself voluntarily
without mental reservation
with a mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
for purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and welcome to the 28th Sangguniang.
Ulian yun, no? Dito ka sa ubos lang. Ayaw nagsagol rin sa mo, ha? Family. Family sa. Wala sa na.
Okay. The 41st regular session of the 20th SP is hereby called to order. All rise for invocation to be led by the Honorable Board Member Elicer S. Unahon. And please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem and the Bukidnon hymn. Jesus is mine.
Mag-ampot ha. Amahan na mong abalaan. Ginoo, salamat ining gihatag mga kapunon. Salamat Ginoo sa imong paghatag og proteksyon sa matag usa na mo ka kinabuhi. Salamat Ginoo kay ikaw kanunay ang among Ginoo nga masangpit na mo kanunay amahan. Nga ikaw gyud ang among Ginoo nga buhi. Ginoo, sa mga pagpadayon karon hinata ikaw pasaylo sa kalapasan nga mo nabuhat sa imong tubangan amahan aron walay mga kababagan sa pagampo diha kanimo. Amahan, nagampo ko hinata ikaw magapadayon pagtabang amahan, labi na Ginoo sa mga opisyalis nining probinsya, ang among pinalanggang Bukidnon. Hinata ikaw magapanalangin sa mga gobernador sa iyang pagdumala, pinagkauban sa mga vice governor amahan, sa iyang pagsuportar sa mga programa sa mga gobernador usab. Nagampo ko Ginoo bisan pa kanamo ang mga board members. Hinato ikaw magapanalangin kanamo Ginoo, labi na Ginoo sa pagcraft namo og mga ordinances o mga resolutions. Hinato nga mahimo kini nga makatabang o mahimo nga makatabang sa mga katawan gyud amahan ang mga balaod nga among pagahimuon nini nga plenary. Busa Ginoo, nagampo ko sa imong pagtabang sa matag usa kanamo, labi na Ginoo sa mga bag-o nga member nga niya karon si Dato Sumbungan. Hinato ikaw magapanalangin kini Ginoo nga mahimo siya nga comfortable sa pagkuyog kanamo. Nagampo ko Ginoo, ikaw magapanalangin kanamo nga tanan karon ini nga kapunon. In Jesus name I pray. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Sa
this song in red. Bring memories to me, the home I long to see, the broad and great tattoos, the river winding through. My heart not long no more, all wonders of the world. The balmy gentle wind, the peace the travelers brought, will blow and ever blow, wherever I may go. The silver waterfalls, in distance one can see, in beauty they express the stranger's sincere praise. The long and zigzag roads, the canyons deep and wide, will ever be enshrined in all Bukidnon night. There my heart yearns to be, in far away Bukidnon land, under blue starry skies, where love and joy never die. There my heart yearns to be, in far away Bukidnon land, under blue starry skies, where love and joy never die.
Mr. Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer. Provincial Vice Governor Clive D. Quino,
Here.
Board Member Mario Jr. B. Albarisi, absent. Board Member Godofredo I. Balansag, Board Member Minerva C. Casinabi, Board Member Bobby J. B. Dinlayan, absent with an approved travel order, Mr. Presiding Officer. Board Member Marlon Brando B. Dinlayan, Board Member Armando Jr. S. Evangelista, Board Member Jose Miguel S. Fortich, Board Member Oliver Owen L. Garcia, Board Member Riel Luis Linas, Board Member Julis Simon Santo, absent with an approved leave, Honorable Presiding Officer. Board Member Eliser S. Unahon, Board Member Joseph D. Palmada, Board Member Ranolfo Jose Jr. G. Pipito, Board Member Renato S. Sumbungan. Honorable Presiding Officer, there are 12 out of 15 members of this honorable body. There is a quorum.
There being a quorum, the 41st regular session of the 20th SP is hereby in order. Majority Floor Leader.
Good afternoon, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon, colleagues, and also good afternoon, our visitors to this session. Honorable Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to the approval of the calendar of business, and this also includes the approval of the minutes of our previous regular session, the minutes of the 40th regular session, Honorable Presiding Officer. For now, we have 49 items for the first reading and 34 items for the second reading. One item wala, no question out ba? There. Supposedly we have cause to invite the PISAM, but I think the rescheduled date, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay.
So we have no invited guests for today's session in the question hour. So we have 3 items under the unfinished business, 2 items under the third and final reading. We have 6 items under the other communication. In our addendum 1, we have only 1 item for the other communication, and we have also 1 item under the privilege hour. Honorable Presiding Officer, so moving for the approval of the calendar of business as presented.
Yes, the Honorable Garcia.
Before we approve the calendar of business for this afternoon, may I just request the reason why there was a resetting of the PSALM appearance for today, so that for the record, because we caused to have them invited actually yesterday,
Yes.
but they were not available, saying that they will be available today.
Yeah.
So, is
For
that
that-
the one in the board?
Yeah.
Is
So-
that their answer?
For that matter, Honorable Presiding Officer, may we now recognize our Secretary for the inquiry of the gentleman from the 4th Legislative District, our Secretary, Honorable Attorney Apollo Magwale.
Attorney Magwali.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This is the latest chat coming from the proposed invited guests, Honorable. Hi, Ma'am. We will try to release it within the day, but please note that President Dines is currently on official travel, so there may be delays in our response. Parang di po kaya maka-attend today, Ma'am, pero the team will conduct another round of stakeholders consultation and focus group discussions in Bukidnon during the 3rd week of May 2026, which you might consider po.
Okay. Is it my understanding that they expect us that instead of them appearing before this August body, that we will be appearing on their focus group, their FGDs? Is that what they're saying? Na instead na silang monitor kung magpatawag sila FGD, kita mo ipaadto dito?
I would like to refer this to my assistant, Mr. Presiding Officer, because last session, I am not around, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Actually, according to this, Ma'am Virgie, she is from Pisam. 2 weeks ago, they are here with the provincial governor. They have like a consultative meeting with the provincial governor, but then the SP was not invited. And then, muna siya, nga ningon siya nga, pwede ba ma-reconsider, kay as of now, they're preparing for a feasibility study regarding the rehabilitation of the Pulangi. So if the SP can consider, that they will be appearing on the 3rd week of May. And so that also they can present the feasibility study relative to the rehabilitation of the Pulangi. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Ma'am Joanne. What's your take on this, Honorable Garcia?
Mr. Chair, I think that's a ready-made feasibility study, because even doing a feasibility study for a simple business or a simple project will take a long time. This is a billion peso activity, and yet they're telling us that the feasibility study will be ready 3rd week from now, or 3rd week of May. So I really am now wondering what they are doing, Mr. Chair. Are they doing consultation in whispers? Why did they not include the Sangguniang Panlalawigan during the time that they were here? And who are involved in this consultation? I understand during the last meeting, PISALM together with a private consulting agency or consulting group was present, not only PISALM. So while we have no choice because they are not here, okay? But at least for the record, we invited them. they initially said yes, and then at the last minute, canceled because their president is somewhere in this planet, and so cannot appear. To me, this is a clear evasion, and they will just feed us with information of a feasibility study na mahuman na in 3 weeks. I don't know kinsay maing lucky aning kahuman og feasibility study in 3 weeks. So anyway, we have no choice. But I think we should not be the one attending their focus group discussion. They should appear before the
Precisely my
Sangguniang.
point.
Yes.
Precisely my point.
Because it's a different way around. If kita ang gipatawag, sila man ang atong gipatawag. Because Pulangi 4 sits in our great province of Bukidnon. Nananghid man na sila pagsulod. Karon nga ilang ibaligya, di sila mananghid. Nga mapiktuhan man ang tanang mga consumer sa provinces Bukidnon ug tibuok Mindanao. So, again, I think ignon lang siguro sila nga we will not attend your focus group discussion but you attend our, because if you read that, can you flash it back? Tatong text. Yeah. We'll conduct another round of stakeholders consultation and focus group discussions in Bukidnon during the 3rd week of May, which you might consider po. So, consider to attend. So, I don't think then, Mr. Chair, if that will be 3rd week of May, then it should be 19. Will they be here on the 19th? Because we are calling them on a session. Is kung ganyan, parang tayo ang na-hostage sa schedule nila. So, we will cause, again, that they be invited to appear next week. So that their president will have to come home wherever he is in the planet.
Yes, or let them clarify their response, no? Kaya vague man ilang response nila nga mula gito nga the members are interpreting the response as nakita hino ipa-attend sa ilang FGD nila. So the other interpretation is that maybe on the 3rd week of May during our session they will appear. But then again, these are just presumptions. So let's clarify, kung unsa gid ang meaning alang ilang response sila. And we still have time. Maybe you can text them or call them so that you can have someone call them para nga maklaro kung unsa, di ba? Kaya kung if ever they're saying that it will be on the 3rd week of May, then they will have to appear. It will be during our session. If not during our session or in the committee hearing.
Oh, or next week, Mr. Chair.
Or
I really am bothered when I was informed earlier this afternoon that they will present to us a feasibility study. Because to my mind, they just consulted the province through our technical people from PPDO last week. That's why I reacted, because they also informed me about, they didn't inform me about it. I was able to read the text in our chat group for the Task Force Energy. So that's why I raised that question, because now I am really of the belief that they're doing a consultation in whispers. Di ba? Murag pila ka grupo ang konsultahon ani. Wala gani siguro kauban kabalo ning mga tao dinhi karon na minaw nga they're intending to, actually they're not claiming it nga sale. But it will be rehabilitated using private money, not government money. And therefore, if it's private money, it has to be recovered. And if it has to be recovered, then costs will have to increase.
Okay.
So that is why gusto nato unta, Mr. Chair, nga matawag sila dinhi kay aron ila nang matubag, maklarify kanato ngano nga muraman og hilom kayo ni nga konsultasyon.
Okay.
So again, Mr. Chair, aron mapaspasta, pwede to i-clarify. And then, if they will be able to attend on either 12 or 19.
Or 19.
Yes.
Diba?
Hala na lang, they can either have the 12 or 19.
12 or 19.
But we will not be attending their FGD. Kaya nabali naman, hinoon kita naman, yung adto nila.
Lagi.
Kita nagpatawag.
Precisely. So, I believe that is clear, unless there are other comments from the board members. Yes?
Yes, just rejoinder lang, Honorable Presiding Officer. because on the part of the Lanao, in the province of Lanao del Norte, they've already acted on the part of the Agos, I think, the Lake Lanao, an ilang project in Agos Iligan, Honorable Presiding Officer. So that's why it's already late for them to react after na sa ilang feasibility study. So that's why if they really intend to present to us here, so I think we are still on the right track, Honorable Presiding Officer, to call them ahead. Kaya dili ang pahuman na, ayaw na din sila mo present sa tuwa, di ba? So for that matter, I think they will be present to us during the question hour, Honorable Presiding Officer. Thank you.
So, I believe the intention of Honorable Garcia has already been his goal of seeking the reason is well explained and then napakita dito. However, naalagamay ng confusion as to their response. So, it is now off record kung ang ilang response to the request by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. So, the Secretariat is instructed to communicate with Ma'am Vivian, representative of Vergy of PISAM, and tell them to appear before us either on the 12th or the 19th.
This is noted, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
Yeah. Again, Honorable Presiding Officer, moving for the approval of the calendar of business as presented.
And second, more properly seconded, the calendar of business for the 41st regular session is hereby approved.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Proceeding to the approval and adoption of the minutes of our 40th regular session of the 28th Sangguniang Panlalawigan held at Exposition Hall, Malaybalay City on April 28, 2026. Copy of the same has been disseminated in advance. Thus, I move to dispense with the full reading of the minutes of our previous regular session, the minutes of the 40th regular session, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? There being none, the reading of the minutes of the 40th regular session is hereby dispensed with.
And, Honorable Presiding Officer, I move further for the approval of the minutes of our previous regular session.
Objections, comments? There being none, the minutes of the 40th regular session is hereby approved.
Proceeding to the first reading reference of the business, may we now recognize our Secretary, Attorney Apollo Magwali, to read the first item therein, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Proceed, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. First reading reference of business, item number 1. Proposed resolution number 166-2026 of the 28th SP, authored by Board Member Ranolfo C. Jr. G. Pipito, 4th Legislative District, this province, entitled A Resolution Commending Ms. Sheena Angela L. Toring for her exemplary participation and valuable contribution as member of the Creamline Cool Smashers, which won the 2026 championship title in the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference held on April 23, 2026 at Smart Araneta Coliseum, Quezon City, Philippines.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the following. Item number 1, this will be transferred to the new business for the day, and this will be marked as item number 35. In items 2 and 3, this will be referred to the Committee on Agricultural Cooperatives, and item number 4, this will be referred to the Committee on Appropriation. For items number 5, 6, 7, and 8, this will be referred to the Committee on Barangay and Local Government. For item 9, 10, and 11, this will be referred to the Committee on Civil Service. 12 and 13, this will be referred to the Committee on Education. 14, 15, and 16, this will be referred to the Committee on Appropriation. From items number 17 to 21, this will be referred to the Committee on Health. For item number 22, this will be referred to the Committee on Land Use, Human Settlement, and Agrarian Reform. For items number 23 to 30, this will be referred to the Committee on Laws, Justice, and Human Rights. And for item number 31, this will be referred to the Committee on Barangay and Local Government. For item number 32, Honorable Presiding Officer, this will be referred to the Committee on Peace and Order. For item number 33, this will be referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, Trade and Industry. And items number 34 to 48, this will be transferred for the new business for the day, and this will be marked as items number 36 to 50. And item number 33, this will be referred to the Committee on Environmental Protection, Climate Change, and Disaster Preparedness. Items number. going back, Honorable Presiding Officer, to items number 14, 15, and 16. This will be referred to the Committee on Environmental Protection and Climate Change. And for item number 33, this will be referred to the Committee on Environmental Protection, Climate Change, Disaster Preparedness in our addendum 1. And item number 1, this will be incorporated to the main under communication as item number 7. And Honorable Presiding Officer, so moving for the approval as enumerated.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Number? Again, I move to make some amendment. Honorable Presiding Officer, for item number 49, this will be referred to the Committee on Environmental Protection, Climate Change, and Disaster Preparedness. So, moving for that amendment, Honorable Presiding Officer, on the last item.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
And Honorable Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to our privilege hour. We have only one item as requested by our newly installed, the Indigenous People Mandatory Representative. May we now recognize, Honorable Presiding Officer, Dato Renato Isumbungan, our IPMR Mandatory Representative.
Board Member Renato Esumbungan, our newly installed IPMR, is hereby recognized. Please proceed, Dato.
Diya ngay mabayan ko inyo ha, dumalundong sinis na atipang ang mga agalon din ita Bukidnon. Hindi ko rin yung may lahan kubulawan na pamada tab bagun gabi talok taktakasok ka na kaginatawan. Daw pagabi taktakasok ka na kagdambayugan ko dodlaw tika si kukat yan patak na balawat kat. Pasalino ko ba nga? Ang ikaw ilahan ko bulawan na pamada tayang ko subataan na katuman. Katay pa daw kumudagulad dalan-dalan na paybayaan. To our presiding officer, Vice Governor Honorable Clive Kenyo, esteemed members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, our respective provincial governor, Dato Salakawan, Rogelio Nel Roque, fellow public servant, honor guests, my dear brothers and sisters from the indigenous cultural communities of Bukidnon, Mayad Aldaw, Tainyo Alan. With humility and deep gratitude, I stand before you today as the provincial Indigenous People's Mandatory Representative of Bukidnon. I carry with me not only the title, but the voices, dreams, struggles of our indigenous communities. This oath is more than words. It is a promise to serve with integrity and lead with courage and stand firm in protecting the rights, culture, dignity of our people. Nagmula ako sa isang lupain na mayaman sa tradisyon at pagkakakilanlan, kung saan ang bawat tribo ay may kwento ng katatagan. Ngayon dala ko ang kwentong ito sa bulwagang ito. Ako ay magsisilbing tulay sa pagitan ng nasa laylayan at ng pamahalaan. Sa pagitan ng tradisyon at kaunlaran. At sa pagitan ng mga hindi naririnig ng mga nasa kapangyarihan. Dili sayon kining panaw na puno kini og hagit, mga hagit, pagduha-duha ug pagsulay sa pagtuo. Apan bisan paniining tanan, nagpabilin akong lig-on sa pagtuo nga nga ang pagpangulo dili may tungod sa posisyon kundi dili sa pagserbisyo. Ug ang tinuod nga serbisyo nagpasabot sa pagpaminaw, pagsabot sa paglihok upan sa kaluoy o justisya. Tulad sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan, I extend myself I extend my gratitude for this opportunity to serve alongside you. I look forward to the working together in crafting policies that are inclusive, culturally sensitive, and truly responsive to the needs of every Bukidnon, especially our indigenous people. Kung mga sulod ko halumad, kana para ko kanaka kaugalingon, na para kanialan sa kahigayunan. Sa nagihap, pagsangat kagahom, dumaw pagsalig, yan ang kahimo ko habisay. Sa inyo pagpanigudo, iyan kanak tumong. Daw sa inyo, umalabot, iyan doon, pupusong ko habuhaton. Doon ang pagpanumpa ko taihaal daw, tigil ako duma, pupusong ko. Sa mapainupsanon, daw sa kapigol o kanak kabaruganan. Isaad ko inyo, mahimo ahalagong kabahin kung mga hilisgutanan. Yan taming noy, agod mapanalipdan ko yung mga umaw o kinabuhi. Dadumanoy, kapag tukod o baybayaan, kahadi, makayog, agod sa banuwa ta Bukidnon, mabikol ang tao pa. Duma o dagi-dagi pagtuo doon bubuhay ang magbabaya with a pride in our heritage and with unity in our purpose. Let us move forward together that daw mahimo magpadayon sa paghulaw-hulaw tao, padayon sa pagbago talamahan ta Bukidnon, hatag timaan tao, hangtod mahimo sangpitanan, kamalikunan sa pito at tribo din ta Bukidnon. Madakol tungkay salamat, Bukidnon, palanggaon ko ikaw, basta lumad, gamhanan kali. Mr. Chair, I move for the adoption of my privilege speech.
And the second, unanimously seconded, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Kaya.
Thank you, Dato Sumbungan.
Honorable Presiding Officer, and I move also that the manifestations of our newly installed Dato Renato Sumbungas be form part of our records, Honorable Presiding Officer. Of the 28 Sangguniang.
For the 28 Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Okay. And second, the motion of the majority floor leader is approved. Majority floor?
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. We will now proceed. We have no item, the question hour, so we will now proceed to our unfinished business, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Please proceed.
We have only 3 items under the unfinished business. May we now recognize the gentlelady from the 3rd Legislative District of these 3 items tabled in the unfinished business, the Honorable Board Member Minerva Escasanabe.
The Honorable Kasinabi is recognized. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. Mayong hapon sa tanan.
Ngayong hapon.
Mr. Chairman, I have here a proposed resolution number 165-2026 of the 28th SP entitled A Resolution Expressing the Profound Gratitude and Heartfelt Appreciation of the Provincial Government and the People of Bukidnon to the Joint Together Society or GTS for their generous donation and constant support in the construction of classrooms within the province. Whereas the Joint Together Society or GTS has consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to humanitarian causes, particularly in uplifting the lives of indigenous communities and marginalized sectors through sustainable development and education. Whereas access to quality education is a fundamental right of every child, yet many rural and far-flung areas in the province of Bukidnon continue to face challenges due to the lack of adequate school facilities and conducive learning environments. Whereas through the benevolence and visionary leadership of GTS, several classroom buildings have been established in various municipalities, providing thousands of Bukidnon learners with safe spaces to pursue their dreams and secure a brighter future. Whereas these donations represent more than just physical structures. They are symbols of international solidarity, compassion, and a shared belief that education is a primary tool for poverty alleviation and peace building. Whereas the selflessness exhibited by the volunteers and members of GTS in reaching the most interior parts of the province has left an indelible mark on the hearts of the teachers, the parents, and students who have benefited from their kindness. Now, therefore, on motion of this resolution, and I and all members hereby assembled in session, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to pass a resolution expressing the profound gratitude and heartfelt appreciation of the provincial government and the people of Bukidnon to the Joined Together Society or GTS for their generous donation and constant support in the construction of classrooms within the province. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished to the GTS or Joined Together Society for their information. Moving for the approval of this resolution, Your Honor.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. Chairman, I have here two committee report. Number one, the committee report of the Committee on Education, to which was referred ordinance number 1328-2026 on the 12th regular session of the Sangguniang Bayan of Damulog, Bukidnon, entitled Institutionalizing the Alternative Learning System or ALS in the Municipality of Damulog, providing guidelines and allocating funds for its implementation. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings: the committee finds that the ordinance establishes an alternative learning system or ALS program in the municipality of Damulog, Bukidnon to provide educational opportunities for out-of-school youth and adults. Upon review, the committee finds the measures responsive to the educational needs of the community and within the authority of the local government. Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, provides that every local government unit shall exercise the powers expressly granted those and effective governance and those which are essential to the promotion of the general welfare. This includes measures that enhance the quality of life and ensure access to education. Moreover, Section 13 of Republic Act Number 115-10, otherwise known as the Alternative Learning System Act, provides that the DepEd or the LGUs or both shall provide at least one ALS CLC in every municipality and city throughout the country to facilitate a learning environment for the full implementation of the ALS Key to 12, BSc, and other ALS programs. The ordinance implements these mandates by institutionalizing a community-based non-formal education program for out-of-school youth and adults, thereby expanding access to basic education. The ordinance constitutes a valid exercise of the legislative authority of the Sangguniang Bayan in furtherance of their general welfare. Recommendations. The committee hereby recommend for the approval of ordinance number 1328-2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Damulog, Bukidnon for being proper, in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. So recommended for the approval of this committee report, Your Honor.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Another committee report, Your Honor, again from the Committee on Education, to which was referred ordinance number 049 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Pangantukan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Mandating the Planting and Growing of Trees by Grade 6, Grade 10, completers, senior high school, and college students as a prerequisite for graduation in the municipality of Pangantukan, Bukidnon. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings: the committee finds that the ordinance seeks to implement a tree planting program in the municipality, requiring the participation of graduating students as part of its environmental protection and sustainability efforts. However, upon review, the committee finds that making such activity a mandatory
Prerequisite.
for graduation, raising legal concerns affecting the validity of the ordinance. The committee suggests that instead of mandatory requiring planting and growing of trees as a graduation prerequisite, the Sangguniang Bayan may instead encourage the participation of environmental awareness and civic engagement programs. While the Sangguniang Bayan is empowered under Republic Act No. 7160 to enact ordinances for its efficient and effective governance, such authority must be exercised within the limits of law and without encroaching upon functions vested in the national agencies. The determination of graduation requirements is primarily lodged within the Department of Education or DepEd or the Commission on Higher Education or CHED, which set uniform standards for the completion of basic or higher education. By imposing tree planting as a mandatory prerequisite for graduation, the ordinance effectively adds a requirement not prescribed by the concerned national agencies, thereby exceeding the authority of the local government unit and creating a condition that may prevent students from graduating despite compliance with all academic requirements. The ordinance is therefore ultra vires and requires necessary corrective revisions. Recommendations: the committee hereby recommend that Ordinance Number 049, Series of 2026, approved on March 26, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Pangantukan, Bukidnon be referred back to its origin for the purpose of undertaking the necessary corrective revisions to ensure conformity with existing laws and regulations. So recommended for the approval of this committee report, Your Honor.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Kasinabe. Objective floor.
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to the second reading and business for the day. Items 1, 2, and 3 for these three items. May we now recognize a gentleman from Lantapan, the former Mayor, Honorable Presiding Officer, the ex-officio member, the Honorable Board Member Godofredo S. Balansag.
The Honorable Balansag is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, and also our majority floor. Ngayong hapon sa tanan.
Ngayong hapon.
Item number 1 under business for the day is a committee report of the Committee on Barangay and Local Governments number 2026-B-021. Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Barangay and Local Government to which was referred Ordinance number 282 series of 2026 of the 16th ISB approved on March 4, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Mandating All Barangays within the Municipality of Lantapan to submit their annual budget to the Sangguniang Bayan for review, prescribing penalties for non-compliance and for other purpose. Have considered the same and hereby submits the findings, comments, and recommendation. Findings: the committee finds the measures to be within the powers granted to local government units under Republic Act No. 7160, particularly Section 305, 318 and 332, which uphold fiscal responsibility, mandate the review of barangay budgets by the Sangguniang Bayan, and authorize the imposition of sanctions for non-compliance. The ordinance is likewise consistent with the relevant issuance of Department of Budget and Management and the Department of Interior and Local Government, which collectively promote transparency, accountability, and efficiency in local fiscal administration. The committee notes that the measures address recurring concern of delayed or non-submission of barangay budgets, thereby institutionalizing a clear, enforceable mechanism for timely compliance and proper review. It further ensures that barangay financial plans are aligned with the statutory requirements and local development priorities, while providing reasonable penalties and corrective measures to strengthen discipline and adherence to the established procedures. The committee also finds that the ordinance to be in order, legally sound, and responsive to the needs of effective local governance in the municipality of Lantapan, Bukidnon. Recommendation: considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of Ordinance Number 282 Series of 2026, approved on March 4, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, for being proper and in accordance with the law and within the scope of authority of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to enact. So recommended for the approval, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Number 2 item, again, it is committee report number 2026-B-022 of the 20th SB. Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Barangay and Local Government, which was referred ordinance number 2026-2023-25 of the 11th regular session approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo, Portage, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing a Recognition and Award Program for Outstanding Outgoing Elected Barangay Officials in the Municipality of Manolo, Portage, Bukidnon, and for other purposes. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendation. Findings: the ordinance seeks to institutionalize a recognition and award program for outstanding outgoing elected barangay officials in Manolo, Portage, and for other purposes. The committee finds measures to be meritorious, timely, and aligned with the principles of good governance, accountability, and local autonomy. The ordinance seeks to formally recognize the exemplary performance, dedication, and public service rendered by outgoing barangay officials who have completed their terms, thereby institutionalizing a system of honoring excellence in grassroots governance and encouraging continued integrity, transparency, and effective leadership at the barangay level. This measure is anchored in the inherent powers of the local government unit under 1987 Constitution, particularly Article 10, which guarantees local autonomy, and Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, which empowers local sanggunian to enact ordinances necessary for a general welfare, including those that promote efficiency, morale, and recognition of public service within their jurisdiction. Under Section 16, General Welfare Act, Welfare Clause, Paragraph 47-A-1-6 and related provisions of Republic Act 7160, municipal governments are expressly authorized to approve measures that promote the well-being of their constituents and enhance the effectiveness of local governance system. Jurisprudence and administrative practice also recognize the local legislative bodies may adopt programs for awards, incentives, and recognition, provided that initiatives are supported by available appropriation and comply with the Commission on Audit rules on government expenditures. The committee likewise notes that the ordinance is consistent with the principle of public accountability under Republic Act number 6713 or the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, which promotes recognition of exemplary public service as means of strengthening ethical governance and encouraging public officials to uphold integrity and efficiency. Moreover, the ordinance supports institutional memory and continuity in local governance by honoring outgoing officials who have demonstrated outstanding service in implementing barangay programs, delivering basic services, and advancing community development initiatives during their tenure. In addition, the committee finds that the ordinance legally tenable, fiscally prudent, subject to proper appropriation, and socially beneficial as it fosters a culture of excellence and motivation among barangay officials in the municipality of Manolo Portage, Bukidnon. Recommendation: considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of ordinance number 226 of 2325 approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Portage, Bukidnon for being proper and in accordance with the law and within the scope of authority of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So moving for the approval of this committee report.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
My last committee report is, again, this is committee report of the Committee on Barangay and Local Governments number 2026-B-023. Mr. Chairman, Committee on Barangay and Local Government, to which was referred ordinance number 2026-2331, approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Portage, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Annual Search for Most Environmentally Friendly Barangay in the Municipality of Manolo Portage, Bukidnon, providing guidelines, appropriating funds, and for other purposes. Have considered the same and hereby submits their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings: the ordinance seeks to establish the annual search for the most environmentally friendly barangay in Manolo Portage, providing guidelines, appropriating funds for other purposes. The committee finds the ordinance to be in accord with existing laws and policies, particularly Republic Act number 7160, which grants local government units the authority to promote general welfare, including environmental protection, sustainable development, and the promotion of ecological balance within the respective jurisdiction. Furthermore, the measures is consistent with the Republic Act number 9003, which mandates the adoption of systematic, comprehensive, and ecological solid waste management program and encourages community participation through incentives and recognition system at the barangay level. The ordinance likewise align with the provisions of Article number 8749, otherwise known as Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, and Republic Act number 9275, otherwise known as Philippine Clear Water Act of 2004, which collectively promote environmental protection through local initiatives and multi-sectoral cooperation. The committee notes that the establishment of an annual search for the most environmentally friendly barangay serves as effective mechanism to encourage grassroots participation, enhancing awareness, and foster healthy competition among barangays in the implementation best practices of waste management, environmental conservation, climate resilience, and sustainable development. Moreover, such initiative is responsive to the growing need of local governments to actively engage communities in environmental stewardship and to institutionalize programs that recognize the reward exemplary performance in the municipality of Manolo Portage, Bukidnon. recommendation concerning the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of ordinance number 2026-2331 approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Province Bukidnon for being proper and in accordance with the law and within the scope of authority of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to enact. So moving for the approval of this committee report, Mr. Chairman.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Balansag. Dirty floor.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Proceeding to item number 4 to 27. For these 24 items, may we now recognize a gentleman from the 4th Legislative District, the Honorable Board Member, Attorney Oliver Owen Baba Garcia.
Honorable Garcia is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Item number 4, Mr. Chair. Salamat, Majority Floor Leader and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, to our newly installed IPMR, maayong hapon kanatong tanan.
Hapon.
Item 4 is Committee Report number 008 of the Committee on Engineering and Public Works, to which was referred a letter dated March 3, 2026 from the Provincial Governor requesting for authority for and behalf of the Provincial Government of Bukidnon to sign the attached authorization allowing ARM-JVJ Construction Services to proceed with the excavation activity at the Bukidnon Capitol Grounds, Carbajal Street, Barangay 9, Malaybalay City, Bukidnon. Findings. The request pertains to the excavation activity in connection with the project of the City Government of Malaybalay entitled Installation and Rehabilitation of Fire Hydrants for Fire-Prone Areas. The proposed work includes the installation of a fire hydrant within the Capitol grounds with provisions that all excavated materials shall be returned and backfilled upon completion and that no materials shall be disposed of outside the project area. That any change to the existing facilities shall be restored to their original condition and that the activity shall be completed within 30 days from commencement. The committee notes that the request was received during the period of preparation and conduct of major provincial and regional events, including the Kaamulan Festival and NM-RAA, which utilize the Capitol grounds. Due to the potential disruption that the excavation activities may cause to these events, action on the request was deferred. During the deliberations, representative from the Provincial Engineer's Office and the City Engineer's Office of Malaybalay clarified that the proposed location of the fire hydrant is near the police outpost within the Capitol grounds, identified as a strategic site to enhance fire safety, particularly during large gatherings where temporary structures are installed. It was further explained that the existing fire hydrants are located at the periphery of the grounds, thereby justifying the need for an additional unit within the central area. The committee likewise notes that the original communication did not sufficiently indicate the exact location of the proposed excavation and was not accompanied by a site plan or sketch, which contributed to the delay in the evaluation of the request. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the committee finds that the proposed project is beneficial and necessary to improve the fire safety measures within the Capitol grounds and to support future provincial activities. Recommendations. The committee, after due deliberation and discussion, hereby recommend for the approval and adoption of the request authorizing the Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to sign the authorization allowing ARM-JVJ Construction Services to proceed with the excavation activity at the Bukidnon Capitol grounds subject to the conditions set forth therein. So recommended, Mr. Chair. May I now pass the resolution?
Please proceed, sir.
A resolution authorizing Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to sign the authorization allowing ARM-JVJ Construction Services to proceed with the excavation activity at the Bukidnon Capitol Grounds, Carbajal Street, Barangay 9, Malaybalay City, Bukidnon. So moving for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you. Item number 5 is a joint committee report of the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights, Committee on Poverty Alleviation and Social Reform. Committee report numbers L-198 and A-023. Mr. Chairman, the committees to which was referred a letter dated February 19, 2026 from the provincial governor requesting this August body for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Bukidnon and the Department of Migrant Workers, Regional Office Number 10, which aims to strengthen cooperation between PGB and the DMW, promoting the rights and welfare of overseas Filipino workers and members of their families through capability building activities, public information and worker education, anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons campaigns, establishment of DMW Help Desk, and the implementation of gender-responsive full-cycle reintegration, employment, and livelihood program. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The proposed MOA is anchored on the mandate of the Department of Migrant Workers to protect the rights and promote the welfare of overseas Filipino workers, as well as the authority of the local government units under the Local Government Code of 1991 to collaborate with national government agencies in the delivery of basic services and programs. However, the committees noted that the MOA lacks specific provisions clearly defining the obligations and responsibilities of the provincial government. It was likewise observed that the agreement is silent on potential financial implications, particularly in relation to staffing, office space, and operational requirements. The committees deliberated on the proposed MOA and found that it aims to strengthen cooperation between the provincial government and the national government in promoting the welfare, protection, and capacity building of overseas Filipino workers and their families. As explained by Attorney Michael Thomas S. Arau of the Department of Migrant Workers, the agreement focuses on three key areas. 1. Workers' welfare through reintegration program. 2. Workers' protection through the prevention of illegal recruitment and trafficking. 3. Capacity building for local government personnel, including the establishment of a DMW help desk. Further findings from DMW revealed that Bukidnon accounts for a significant portion of OFWs in Region 10, with approximately 13,000 land-based and 2,400 sea-based workers. However, there is no disaggregated data per municipality, highlighting the need for improved data collection systems. It was also noted that establishing a DMW help desk within the province would ease the burden of OFWs who currently travel to Cagayan de Oro City for assistance, there being no existing satellite office in Bukidnon or Malaybalay City. The DMW likewise committed to providing training for LGU personnel assigned to the help desk. Additionally, the committee recognized existing operational constraints, including limited personnel and office space, as well as the need to ensure confidentiality and efficiency in service delivery. Coordination efforts at the barangay level for FW data gathering were likewise noted. The initiative is consistent with national policies on OFW protection, anti-illegal recruitment, reintegration, and data privacy. The matter of financial assistance for OFWs, particularly for repatriation amid the ongoing fuel crisis, was raised by Ms. Stephanie Melendez. However, the chair clarified that this falls within the authority and scope of the governor. The committee emphasized that any commitments involving personnel, office space, and operations must be aligned with the provincial budget. While the proposed DMW help desk will improve access to services and reduce costs for OFWs, it will require adequate resources for effective implementation. The absence of localized OFW data limits the province's ability to properly target programs, thus strengthening data collection in coordination with DMW and barangay units is necessary in compliance with data privacy laws. The committee clarified that this effort is not intended to assume the functions of the DMW, but to support and complement its initiatives. Concerns on staffing and office space must likewise be addressed. In view of the foregoing, the committee finds merit in the MOA, but emphasizes the need to clearly define the roles of the provincial government and to ensure the resource requirements are addressed prior to implementation. Recommendations. The committees, after due deliberation, hereby recommend for the approval of the proposed memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Bukidnon and the Department of Migrant Workers Region 10 and the adoption of a resolution, therefore, subject to the clarification of responsibilities, and corresponding resource requirements. Further, that the provincial government allocate office space for DMW personnel subject to availability. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
Questions, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
May I now pass the resolution, Mr.
Please
Chair?
proceed, Honorable Garcia.
A resolution granting authority to Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the Department of Migrant Workers Regional Office Number 10 for the protection and welfare of OFWs from Bukidnon. So moving for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There are none, motion is approved.
Item number 6 is a committee report of the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights, Committee Report number L-199. The Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights, to which was referred the letter undated with attached back resolution number 2026-231 of the Provincial Governor, requesting this August body for authority to sign the contract of agreement for the project supply and delivery of 1 unit brand new mobile bathroom and shower for PDRRMD with one supplier, Palmer Asia Incorporated, for the contract cost of 11,989,999 pesos. The procurement for the aforementioned project was conducted by the Provincial Bids and Awards Committee in accordance with the implementing rules and regulations RA 12009. This request is certified urgent by the Provincial Governor, have considered the same, and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. During the course of deliberations, Board Member Palmada raised a query relative to the reasonableness of the approved contract cost, noting that the amount appeared to be highly expensive. Attorney Nestor Cajes Jr. explained that while the unit was initially intended for the NMRA, it is a long-term provincial investment, particularly to strengthen sanitation support during evacuations and calamities in the province of Bukidnon, as well as for disaster response, emergency operations, and public events. Upon the Chair's directive, the PDRMO presented and verified the unit's specifications. The mobile bathroom and shower is a fully customized facility mounted on a 6-wheeler Isuzu truck equipped with a 6,000-liter water tank and built-in sanitary fixtures specifically designed to address sanitation needs in evacuation centers and disaster-affected areas where facilities are limited. The base vehicle costs approximately 5 million, while the remaining amount covers customization, aluminum components, water system integration, and accessibility feature for PWDs and senior citizens. The structure is fully integrated into the vehicle for mobility and immediate deployment. The unit is a multifunctional, suitable for evacuation, rescue, and emergency operations, and can connect to an external water tanker for continuous water supply, ensuring sustained sanitation services even in prolonged operations. Access to adequate sanitation during evacuation and calamities is essential to safeguard public health and uphold the dignity of the affected populations. In situations where water and sanitation systems are disrupted, the availability of a mobile, self-contained facility substantially enhances the province's response capability. While acknowledging its benefit, Board Member Palmada raised concerns regarding the timing of procurement amid current crisis conditions. The PDRMO justified the acquisition as a proactive and sustainable governance measure, stressing that the unit's durability, reusability, and multifunctional design ensure long-term value. Its capacity for repeated deployment across various emergencies and public activities makes the cost justifiable over time. The contract amount reflects the unit's high level of customization, durable aluminum construction, 6,000-liter capacity, and accessibility features comparable to similar LGU units but tailored to the province's needs. Recommendation. After review, deliberation, and evaluation of the technical presentation and justification, the committee recommends approval of the procurement of 1 unit brand new mobile bathroom and shower for the PDRRMD to be supplied by Palmer Asia Incorporated with the contract cost of 11,989,999 pesos considering its alignment with disaster risk reduction and management objectives and its long-term function as a mobile, self-contained sanitation facility that strengthen the province of Bukidnon's emergency response capacity. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
Comment from the chair. So how many units at any given, how many people at any given time can use this facility?
6.
6 people.
Six.
So it's like portalets na siya, no?
No, it's mounted on a truck.
Mounted on a truck. Ah, okay. Mounted on
So
a truck.
there's 4 bathrooms and 2 shower rooms,
4 bathrooms and 2 shower rooms.
male and female separate,
Male and female. Okay. So this
and
is
they have their own septic tank,
TikTok, yeah.
and they have their own water. But kung mahutdan daw, they can attach to the water tanker of the province of Bukidnon.
Okay. Thank you. No objections? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I now pass a resolution?
Please proceed.
A resolution granting authority to Provincial Governor Rogelio Neal P. Roque to sign the contract of agreement for the project supply and delivery of 1-unit brand new mobile bathroom and shower for PDRRMD with one supplier, Palmer Asia Incorporated, for the contract cost of 11,989,999 pesos. So moving for the approval of said resolution, Mr. Chair.
Done, Mrs. Candid, the motion is approved.
Di pa ni. Ano ning mga gibalik? Di pa tama niya na. Relax lang. Mr. Chair, item number 7 is the committee report of the Committee on Law, Justice and Human Rights, committee report number LDUS 200. The committee to which was referred, a letter dated February 26, 2026 with attachments of Provincial Governor Rogelio Neal Roque requesting this August body for an amendment of Resolution number 2026-1294, which was approved during the 30th regular session of the 28th SP, entitled a resolution granting authority to the Provincial Governor Rogelio Neal P. Roque to enter into a deed of donation and acceptance by and between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the 4th Infantry Diamond Division, Philippine Army, for the donation of 1 unit 4x4 Mitsubishi Triton GL 4-wheel drive pickup vehicle, to amend the said resolution specifically by adding the word 8th Infantry Dependable Battalion in accordance to the intention of the deed of donation and acceptance. Have considered the same, and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The committee finds that the matter was initially taken up primarily for administrative review to ensure the accuracy and propriety of official communications. It was established that the original request identified the 4th Infantry Diamond Division Philippine Army as the donee. However, the intended recipient was specifically the 8th Infantry Dependable Battalion, 4th Infantry Diamond Division Philippine Army. This discrepancy necessitated the amendment of the communication. It was observed that the requested amendment resulted in procedural delay in regard the need for greater diligence and precision among personnel in the preparation of official documents. It must be noted that such delays could have been avoided had the original communication clearly and accurately reflected the intended recipient. It was clarified by Attorney Jean Ives Ladesma of the Provincial Legal Office that the miscommunication originated from the Philippine Army 8th Infantry Dependable Battalion, which initiated the request and provided the details regarding the intended recipient of the donation. Both the division and the battalion are recognized entities. However, the amendment was necessary to correctly reflect the true intent of the donation. The noted that the need for the amendment arose from the lack of clarity in the original communication. Specifically, the request did not clearly explain the basis for certifying the matter as urgent. It was emphasized that this justification should have been expressly stated as a brief and well-structured one paragraph and would have been sufficient to prevent confusion and delay. Nasayop na sila, ipa-urgent pa. Concerned officers are reminded that official communications must not be limited to standard or templated language, but should clearly and adequately present the factual and legal grounds for the request, particularly when urgency is being asserted. Attorney Ledesma acknowledged that it was incumbent upon their office to clearly and properly articulate the intent of the request in the communication, particularly the need for the amendment. It was further clarified that the initial request from the 8th Infantry Battalion likewise involved some miscommunication. However, the responsibility for the subsequent amendment rests with their office to ensure that the final communication accurately reflects the intended details. The committee clarified that the distinction between deed of donation and deed of acceptance, noting that since the provincial government of Bukidnon is acting as the donor in this instance, the authority being requested pertains to the execution of a deed of donation. In contrast, a deed of donation and acceptance is only applicable when the province is the recipient of the donation, in which case it executes both the giving and receiving aspects. It was further emphasized that this distinction should be accurately reflected in all official documents. The request specifically involves the authority of the provincial governor to act in the capacity of donor. Thus, it should be properly identified as relating to the execution of a deed of donation rather than a general deed of donation and acceptance. Recommendation. After thorough deliberation, the committee recommends the approval of the proposed amendment to Resolution Number 2026-1294, 28 SP, to specifically include 8th Infantry Dependable Battalion as the proper donee, the correction of terminology to reflect the execution of deed of donation, and the strict observance by all concerned offices of diligence, clarity, and precision in the preparation of official communications to prevent similar delays. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
May I now pass a resolution, Mr.
Please
Chair.
proceed, sir.
A resolution granting authority to the provincial governor, Rogelio Neil P. Roque, to enter into a deed of donation and acceptance by and between the provincial government of Bukidnon and the 8th Infantry Dependable Battalion, 4th Infantry Diamond Division, Philippine Army, for the donation of 1 unit 4x4 Mitsubishi Triton GL 4-wheel drive M pickup vehicle. So moving for the approval of the said resolution.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
The next item, Mr. Chair, item number 8. These are all the requests that we referred because all of these requests were certified to be urgent by the provincial governor. So, Mr. Chair, committee report of the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights, committee reports number L201 to L220. Findings. After due deliberation, the committee finds that the practice of certifying communications, particularly procurement-related referrals emanating from the office of the governor as urgent, is not anchored on any clear statutory or legal basis. Such endorsement appears to have evolved merely as an administrative convenience or templated practice intended to facilitate procurement processing timeliness rather than one grounded in express authority under law. The committee further finds that the invocation of urgency in such communications does not fall within the concept of legislative urgency, which under the Constitution is a prerogative exclusively vested in the President in relation to the certification of bills. Accordingly, the repeated use of urgent certifications in administrative and procurement-related matters neither confers additional legal authority nor serves to dispense with, modify, or circumvent mandatory legislative or regulatory requirements. BAC Chairman Attorney Nestor Cais Jr. explained that the certification of urgency has become a templated practice often coordinated with the Provincial Legal Office primarily to facilitate procurement implementation. He stated that the urgency is sometimes invoked to prevent delays that could result in contractor withdrawal and to ensure immediate project execution, particularly in time-sensitive or crisis-related situations. He further cited internal back timelines and previous audit observation memoranda as factors influencing the practice. He emphasized that the practice is not intended to pressure the Sangguniang Panlalawigan but is instead part of following established procurement processes under compressed timelines. However, the chair emphasized that there is no legal basis for the indiscriminate certification of communication as urgent, noting that such authority is not comparable to legislative urgency and is exclusively vested in the President in relation to bills. The chair further stressed that procurement concerns must be addressed within the established procurement framework and must not bypass proper Sangguniang deliberation, as doing so undermines its constitutional and statutory role in binding the provincial government. It is likewise observed that the current practice has, in certain instances, resulted in the transmittal of procurement documents to the Sangguniang within unduly compressed timeframes, thereby constraining its capacity to conduct meaningful review, deliberation, and fiscal oversight. The general rule under Section 22C of the Local Government Code is that no contract may be entered into by the LCE without prior authorization by the Sangguniang. However, the courts have refined this to distinguish between when a separate resolution is mandatory and when a budget ordinance is sufficient. The Committee in Reconciling Pertinent Matters, the chair anchors its position on relevant jurisprudence, particularly Kisumbing versus Garcia, GR number 175527, December 8, 2028. In the said case, the Supreme Court held that the local chief executive, governor or mayor, may enter into contracts chargeable against local government funds only within the limits of prior authorization of the Sangguniang, unless such authority is already sufficiently embodied in duly enacted appropriation measure. The sufficient detail standard applies in determining the necessity of further Sangguniang authorization. No additional Sangguniang resolution is required when the annual appropriation ordinance specifies with reasonable particularity the project, amount, and essential contractual parameters. Conversely, where the appropriations are general or lump sum in character, example, broad allocations for infrastructure projects without itemization, a separate Sangguniang authorization or enabling resolution is required prior to implementation or contracting. As clarified in Kusumbing versus Garcia, this authority is considered already granted if the project is sufficiently itemized in the annual investment program and the appropriation ordinance. When the Sangguniang approves a budget with specific line item detailing the project's nature, scope, and cost, it has already exercised its legislative discretion. In Verceles Jr. versus Commission on Audit, GR number 211553, September 13, 2016, the Supreme Court held that a separate resolution is unnecessary when a project has already been specifically included in the appropriation ordinance, as the latter serves as sufficient legal authority for implementation. In such cases, requiring additional authorization is redundant because legislative approval has already been given through the budget process. However, blanket or lump sum appropriations do not automatically confer authority to implement specific projects. Given the Sangguniang's power of the purse, the local chief executive must secure definite and specific authorization before entering into contracts charged against lump sum funds unless the ordinance already identifies the particular projects and corresponding cost. If the appropriation is lump sum items such as capital outlay or social services fund, without specific projects, a separate Sangguniang resolution is required because there is no prior approval of how the funds will be used. Thus, the more detailed the annual investment plan and appropriation ordinance, the broader the executive discretion in implementation, since the burden for procurement rests with the executive branch. While the BAC operates under defined procedural timelines pursuant to the procurement laws and regulations, the committee emphasized that Sangguniang Panlalawigan must likewise be afforded reasonable opportunity to deliberate on all matters submitted for its consideration. This is in keeping with the fundamental principles of due process and transparency. Finally, the committee recognizes that, consistent with applicable jurisprudence or procurement rules, A, Items specifically included in a duly enacted annual investment plan and the corresponding appropriation ordinance may be implemented by the provincial governor without the need for further Sangguniang authorization, provided that the appropriation is sufficiently detailed and within the scope of the approved budgetary framework. B. However, Sangguniang authorization remains required in cases involving lump sum appropriations that require itemization, budget realignments or reprogramming, and expenditures not necessarily covered by the duly approved AIP and appropriation ordinance. The chair recommends that the procurement rules and relevant Supreme Court jurisprudence be strictly observed as guiding standards for the BAC committee in the discharge of its function in order to promote efficiency in procurement processes and avoid unnecessary redundancy in submissions to and review by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Recommendations. After due and thorough review and deliberation of the foregoing findings, jurisprudence and applicable procurement rules, the committee recommends 1. That the practice of certifying procurement-related communication as urgent should be discontinued in the absence of a clear statutory or legal basis. Such certification does not constitute legislative urgency and does not supersede or modify mandatory legal, regulatory, or Sangguniang requirements, and its discontinuance is recommended to avoid procedural redundancy. Number 2, that the Sangguniang Panlalawigan may only be required to act on request for authority to enter into contracts when such projects are not sufficiently covered or itemized in the duly enacted annual investment plan and appropriation ordinance. Furthermore, the committee recommends for the following: adoption and approval of the letter request authorizing for this August body to sign the contract of agreement for the project entitled Upgrading of Existing Single-Phase to Three-Phase Primary Distribution Line, Installation of a Three-Phase Distribution Transformer Bank, and Upgrading of Secondary Distribution Lines and Overcurrent Protected Devices located at BPH Talakag, Bukidnon, with Kaikos Corporation amounting to a contract cost of 3,895,733 pesos and 5 centavos. And may I just move for an omnibus motion, Mr. Chair, for the adoption of the remaining contracts subject to form and style.
Please
From from report number 2002 to 2020. So moving for the approval of these contracts, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, the omnibus motion is hereby approved.
Thank you. Wala.
Any more?
No more, di ba?
Thank you, Honorable Board Member Attorney Oliver Owen Baba Garcia. Honorable Presiding Officer,
Please proceed, sir.
proceeding to item number 28, may we now recognize the gentleman from the 4th Legislative District, the Honorable Board Member Doc R.J. Pipito, our incoming Majority Floor Leader.
Sorry, you caught me off guard there. Honorable Pipito is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Item number 28 from the Committee on Health, which is referred ordinance number 36-2026 of the 10th SP 29th regular session approved on March 11, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Valencia City, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Updating the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation Resource Utilization Guidelines under the City Health Office of the City of Valencia. Mr. Chair, the committee recognizes that the subject ordinance is anchored on existing PhilHealth policies, particularly through its reference to key circulars such as PhilHealth Circulars numbers 2024-0012 or Rules for Adjusting Case Rates, 2024-0013/2025-0017 or Consulta or YAKAP, and numbers 2014-0014, the TB dots, numbers 2015-0025, MCP and IUDs, numbers 138-2015, Family Planning Implant, and circular numbers 15 and 33 series of 2012 or the Animal Bite Treatment Center. The committee finds that it is recommended that PhilHealth Circular Number 2024-0037 or the 50% adjustment of select case rates be expressly included under Section 2 or the Declaration of Policy to ensure completeness of cited authorities. Further, Section 6, Paragraph 3 on Animal Bite Treatment Center Service reflects an outdated allocation model. The ordinance adopts the 90% family fee and 10% professional fee under scheme under earlier issuances. However, PhilHealth Circular Number 2024-0037 has revised the Animal Bite Treatment Center case rate to 5,850 pesos with 100% allocated to family fee and 0 to professional fee. Accordingly, this provision must be updated to ensure compliance with current PhilHealth guidelines. Furthermore, the ordinance lacks explicit sharing percentages for family planning procedures, especially for IUD insertions. The ordinance must state PhilHealth Code 58300 or total case rate of 3,900 pesos, family fee HCI 60% or 2,340 pesos, professional fee 40% or 1,560 pesos under Circular Number 2024-0037 Annex F. In addition, with respect to Yakap or Consulta package, while the ordinance correctly recognizes that no fixed sharing ratio is prescribed by PhilHealth, the current allocation of the facility fee accounts for only 78%, thereby leaving 22% unallocated. It is recommended that the pertinent provision be reviewed and revised to ensure full allocation and consistency in allocation treatment. Hence, regarding Section 7 on corrective reappropriation, the committee further recommends that the provision be referred to the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation and Commission on Audit for the appropriate comment and authoritative guidance. The reappropriation of or the alignment of PhilHealth reimbursements, including any unutilized or surplus funds, is subject to strict compliance with PhilHealth circulars and COA rules on the use of special funds. In the absence of clear and explicit guidelines, such provisions may be susceptible to audit disallowance and or legal challenges. Accordingly, the City of Valencia is strongly advised to secure formal opinion or issuances from the concerned agencies regarding the extent, limitations, and procedural requirements for reappropriating PhilHealth proceeds prior to finalizing the ordinance. Mr. Presiding Officer, the committee, after review, hereby recommend to refer back Ordinance Number 36-2026, 10th SP, the 29th regular session, to each origin for the compliance of the stated findings. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Pepito. Majority floor.
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to items number 29 and 30 for these two items. May we now recognize a gentleman from the 2nd Legislative District, the Honorable Board Member Marlon Brando Dinlayan.
Honorable Marlon Dinlayan is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, distinguished Majority Floor Leader. Good afternoon, Honorable Presiding Officer,
Good afternoon.
to all esteemed members of this august body, and special acknowledgement to our newly inducted Provincial Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative, Dato Makayuba, Honorable Renato Sumbaungan. Daw mga amin din mga sa pamilya, mga ilingkira, mga kadumahan ko'y, mga hintulok, dinita Bukidnon. Mayad, madagoy, mahapon, kanoy alan. I have two committee reports of the Committee on Beautification and Tourism. First, item number 29, Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Beautification and Tourism, to which was referred Ordinance number 288 series of 2026, 16 Sangguniang Bayan, approved on April 6, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Pasalubong Center of the Municipality of Lantapan, Province of Bukidnon, in support of tourism development local entrepreneurship, OTOP, one town, one product, promotion, and local economic growth, providing guidelines for its management and operation and for other purposes, have been considered the same and hereby submit its findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The committee finds that the ordinance recognizes the importance of tourism and local entrepreneurship as engines of socioeconomic growth. The ordinance institutionalizes the establishment of a pasalubong center to serve as a permanent marketplace for locally produced goods, handicrafts, native delicacies, and auto products that reflect the identity and culture of Lantapan. It creates a pasalubong center management committee tasked to oversee operations, pricing, display standards, and quality control. The ordinance also provides incentives for micro, small, medium enterprises, including possible fee waivers and technical support, while ensuring partnerships with national agencies such as Department of Tourism, Department of Trade and Industry, and Department of Science and Technology for capacity building and product certification. The committee finds that the ordinance is consistent with the Tourism Act of 2009, Republic Act 9593, and the Local Government Code of 1991, Republic Act 7160, which empowers local government units to promote tourism, cultural heritage, and local economic development. Recommendation. Considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends the approval of Ordinance Number 288 Series of 2026, 16th, Sangguniang Bayan, approved on April 6, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang to enact. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? If there are none, motion is approved.
My last, the second item, number 30, the same committee report under Beautification and Tourism. Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Beautification and Tourism, to which was referred Ordinance Number 1098, 10th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, 36, regular session approved on March 27, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Malabala City, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Annual Celebration of the Bibingka Festival of Barangay Miglamin as a special activity of the city of Malaybalay, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, have been considered the same and hereby submit its findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The committee finds that Ordinance Number 1098 recognizes the importance of preserving and promoting local culture and culinary heritage, specifically the traditional delicacy bibingka of Barangay Miglamin. The ordinance institutionalizes the Bibingka Festival as an annual cultural and tourism event of the city of Malaybalay. It establishes the Bibingka Festival Coordinating Committee to oversee planning, logistics, safety, sanitation, and transparency in festival expenditures. The ordinance also mandates an annual appropriation of not less than 100,000 pesos from the city's general fund to support festival activities, with the Barangay Miglamin Council authorized to augment funds from lawful sources. The committee notes that the ordinance is consistent with the 1987 Constitution and the Local Government Code of 1991, Republic Act 7160, which empower local government units to promote cultural heritage, tourism, and livelihood opportunities. Recommendation. Considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends the approval of Ordinance Number 1098, 10th Regular Panlungsod 36th regular session approved on March 27, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Malaybalay City, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang to enact. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Unanimously seconded, the motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Marlon Dinlayan.
Honorable Presiding Officer, proceeding to item number 31 and 32 for these two items. May we now recognize our SK Federation President, the Honorable Board Member Ria Luis Linas, the Committee on Youth, Sports and Development.
Honorable Linas is recognized. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Youth and Sports Development to which was referred Ordinance Number 20-2026 Series of 2026 approved on March 26, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon entitled An Ordinance Establishing and Institutionalizing the Sangguniang Kabataan Excellence in Governance Award and Recognition of Exemplary Youth Leadership and Good Governance Practices, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Comments: the committee finds that the ordinance seeks to establish a formal recognition system that highlights outstanding performance, leadership, and innovation among Sangguniang Kabataan officials and youth organizations. The program aims to recognize excellence in youth governance and to encourage the adoption of best practices in leadership, transparency, accountability, and community engagement at the barangay level. The committee notes that the ordinance provides specific award categories, namely Outstanding SK Chairperson, Outstanding SK Council, Outstanding Youth Governance Program or Project, Innovation in Youth Governance Award, and Special Citation. These categories are designed to comprehensively recognize both individual and collective achievements, as well as innovative and impactful initiatives that contribute to youth development and good governance. The committee further finds that institutionalizing such an award system will serve as a motivation for SK officials to perform their duties with excellence and integrity. It will also promote a culture of accountability, encourage healthy competition among barangays, and provide a platform for sharing successful programs and initiatives that may be replicated to other communities. Recommendations: considering the foregoing, the committee, after thorough review and study, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 20-2026 Series of 2026 approved on March 26, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There are none. Motion is approved.
Last is the Committee on Youth and Sport Development, to which was referred Ordinance Number 285 Series of 2026, 16 SB approved on March 23, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan ng Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing a Youth Hub in Municipality of Lantapan, Province of Bukidnon, providing for its purposes, functions, management, and appropriating funds. Therefore, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Comments: the committee finds that the ordinance seeks to establish a youth hub that will serve as a centralized, safe, and accessible space for young people in the municipality of Lantapan. The facility is envisioned to function as a venue for youth engagement, leadership development, skills training, meetings, counseling, and the implementation of various youth programs and activities. It also aims to strengthen coordination among youth organizations, the Sangguniang Kabataan, and the local government. The committee notes that the establishment of Youth Hub directly supports the policy under Article 2, Section 13 of 1987 Philippine Constitution, which recognizes the vital role of the youth in nation building and mandates state to promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being, providing a dedicated facility for youth development initiatives contributes for the realization of this mandate. The committee further observes that the ordinance is aligned with Republic Act number 10742, which promotes youth participation in governance and encourages the implementation of programs that develop leadership skills and civic engagement among the youth. The youth hub can serve as a support facility for the effective implementation of the Comprehensive Barangay Youth Development Plan or CBYDP and other youth-related programs. Recommendations considering the foregoing, the committee, after thorough review and study, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 285, Series of 2026, 16 SB approved on March 23, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan to pass. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Linas. Your floor.
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer, proceeding to item number 33 and 34, may we now recognize a gentleman from the 3rd Legislative District, the Chairman of the Committee on Agriculture and Cooperative, the Honorable Board Member Jose Miguel Fortito.
Honorable Fortich is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Item number 33, Committee Report number 01928 SP of the Committee on Agriculture and Cooperatives, to which was referred Ordinance number 1100 Series of 2026, approved on April 7, 2026, on the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the City of Balay-Balay, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Creating the Balay-Balay City Fruit-Bearing Trees, Coffee, Cacao, Sap-Producing Trees, Banana, Fiber, Abaca, and Bamboo Production Program, and providing funds thereof. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Comments, findings. Ordinance number 1100 promotes general welfare and food security through sustainable agricultural development in accordance with the Local Government Code of 1991. This legislation aligns with the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act and the Organic Agriculture Act of 2010 to support the diversified farming system and poverty alleviation by providing basic agricultural support services and quality planting materials. The city aims to foster environmental protection and ecological balance. Furthermore, the program encourages livelihood enterprises and value-adding processing for commodities such as banana, fiber, and bamboo, recognizing that these crops are critical to climate resilient agriculture and rural employment. The measure utilizes the city's favorable climatic conditions to inclusive development. Recommendation: considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommend for the approval of ordinance number 1100 series of 2026, approved on April 7, 2026, of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the City of Balay-Balay, Bukidnon, for being accordance with the law and within the scope of the authority of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? If there are none, motion is approved.
Item number 34, Committee Report number 02028 SP of the Committee on Agriculture and Cooperatives, to which was referred Ordinance number 1102 Series of 2026, approved on April 14, 2026, of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the City of Malaybalay, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Creating the Technology and Skills Enhancement Support Program for Farmers of Malaybalay City, establishing a farmer accreditation system, institutionalizing farmers field school trainings and agricultural technology demonstration sites, provides funds thereof, and for the other purposes, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Comments, findings. The city government of Malaybalay recognizes that agriculture is the primary livelihood of the residents that empower them through modern technology adoption and value adding skills under the mandate of Section 16 of Republic Act 7116, known as the Local Government Code of 1991. The local government is committed to promote the general welfare by enhancing the economic productivity and agricultural development. Sustainable livelihood programs are prioritized through proper training and skills development to ensure that farmers can effectively utilize the assistance they receive. The committee found that partnership with national agency like the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority TESDA and the Department of Science and Technology DOST will be strengthened by providing access to post-harvest innovation and modern agricultural tools. Consequently, Ordinance number 1102 is established for technology enhancement and training to create the more resilient and competitive agricultural sector. Recommendation, considering the foregoing, and the committee hereby recommend the approval of Ordinance number 1102 series of 2026, approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the City of Malaybalay, Bukidnon, for being in accordance with the law and within the scope of the authority of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? If there are none, motion is approved. Thank you, Honorable Fortich.
Honorable Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to our new business for the day. We have only 13 items calendared in this for our new business for the day. May we now recognize for item number 35, the gentleman again from the 4th Legislative District, the Honorable Board Member, Dr. R.J. Pipito.
Honorable Pepito is recognized. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Item number 35 is proposed resolution number 166-2026 of the 28th SP, entitled a resolution commending Ms. Sheena Angela L. Toring for her exemplary participation and valuable contribution as a member of the Creamline Cool Smashers, which won the 2026 championship title in the Premier Volleyball League, or PVL, All-Filipino Conference held on April 23, 2026 at Smart Arena Coliseum, Quezon City, Philippines. Authored by this representation, whereas the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Bukidnon recognizes the vital role of sports in promoting discipline, teamwork, perseverance, and excellence among the youth and in fostering community pride and unity through athletic achievement. Whereas the Premier Volleyball League is the premier professional women's volleyball league in the Philippines, organized by the Sports Vision Management Group, or Incorporated, serving as the highest platform for competitive volleyball excellence in the country. Whereas the Creamline Cool Smashers are a Filipino professional women's team owned by Rebisco. The team competes in the Premier Volleyball League, or PVL, which is one of the 6 original teams in 2017 in the Philippines. Whereas as a member of the Creamline Cool Smashers, Miss Sheena Angela Turing Limbaga played an integral role in the team's successful campaign that culminated in the winning the championship title in the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference held on April 23, 2026 at the Smart Arena Coliseum. Whereas Miss Sheena Angela L. Turing is the daughter of Mr. Sunny Turing and Mrs. Leonispa Turing, both bona fide residents of Sunkist Village, Bagong Taas, Valencia City, Bukidnon, whose support and guidance contributed to her athletic journey and success. Whereas through her remarkable dedication, discipline, hard work, and athletic excellence in the field of volleyball, Miss Sheena Angela L. Turing has become an inspiration to aspiring athletes and a source of pride and honor to the province of Bukidnon. Whereas her outstanding achievement reflects her unwavering commitment to excellence, resilience, and sportsmanship, and showcases the talent, determination, and potential of Bukidnon athletes in the national sports arena. Whereas her invaluable contribution to the championship victory has brought pride, honor, and recognition not only to her family and team, but also to her community and the entire province of Bukidnon, further highlighting the province's capacity to produce exceptional athletes capable of excelling at the highest level of Philippine sports competition. Now, therefore, on motion by this representation, duly seconded by all board members herein assembled in session, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to pass a resolution commending Ms. Sheena Angela L. Turing for her exemplary participation and valuable contribution as a member of the Creamline Cool Smashers, which won the 2026 championship title in the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference held on April 23, 2026 at Smart Arena Coliseum, Quezon City, Philippines. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished to Sheena Angela Turing as a manifestation of this honorable body's highest recognition and appreciation for her commendable achievements and valuable contribution to sports. So recommending for the adoption and approval of this resolution, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Unanimously seconded, the motion is approved.
And may we award this resolution next week, Mr. Chair, if the Ms. Sheena is available.
Next week.
Next session in this.
So, dili na dito sa...
If available lang siguro. Contact
How about sa Monday convocation for June?
Would this be qualified? Pwede na ba siya, Mr. Secretary?
I don't know. Did you
Okay
make
ra?
you made a qualification?
If pwede sa first Monday convocation of June, Mr. Presiding Officer, pwede siguro mas maayo dito.
Yeah.
If not, okay lang ba siya? May we ask our Secretary, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Okay
What
lang?
does our guidelines say?
Valid siya. Sangis.
Mr. Presiding Officer, normally we consider a recipient to be awarded at the convocation when the award has national impact to the community and brought an honor to the country. So those are our general consideration.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but it is up to the body again to decide.
Okay. So the guidelines state that it should be of national impact.
Yes,
No? And then
Mr.
it should be,
Presiding Officer.
or if not, an international award.
Yeah, that brought honor to the provincial
In that
level.
case, rin na to siya award.
If available siya next week, Mr. Presiding Officer,
Yes.
pwede.
Send the necessary invitation
Yes,
so that we will recognize her next week in our next session.
Thank you,
this is
Mr. Chair.
noted, Mr.
Thank you.
Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Pipito. Majority floor.
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer, for items number 36, 37, and 38, as requested by the chairman of the committee, Honorable Board Member Attorney Julis Monsanto, these three items are all deferred, Honorable Presiding Officer. So we will now proceed for the last item that we have in the new business for the day. For these 12 items, may we now again recognize a gentleman from the 4th Legislative District, the Honorable Board Member Attorney Oliver Owen Baba Garcia.
Honorable Garcia is recognized. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 39 is a letter from the governor requesting to pass a resolution authorizing the new acting provincial treasurer, Mr. Leo Augustus G. Barroso, as the official authorized signatories for all bank accounts and financial transactions of the provincial government of Bukidnon. This request is made in the light of the retirement of the previous provincial treasurer, Ms. Marilu S. Bueno, and the subsequent designation, Mr. Barroso's tenure as acting treasurer officially commenced on April 1, 2026. Specifically, this request seeks to update the authorized signatories and authorities originally established under the following. 1. Resolution number 2025-158, a resolution granting continuing authority to Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque and Provincial Treasurer Marilu S. Bueno to place idle funds in short-term investments with government-authorized depository subject to existing laws, rules, and regulations. Mr. Chair, I move to amend the said resolution by amending the name Marilu S. Bueno to Mr. Leo Agustus G. Barroso, and to put the word acting before the word provincial treasurer. So moving, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
For number 2, a resolution granting authority to the provincial governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque and the provincial treasurer's office to execute specific continuing authority authorizing the local chief executive and the provincial treasurer's office to invest in high-yield savings and treasury bills. Mr. Chair, considering that there is no name indicated in this resolution, that this resolution should remain. The number 3 is a resolution granting authority to Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to enter into a memorandum of agreement by and between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the Land Bank of the Philippines. Again, Mr. Chair, I think there's no need to amend this one, considering that the name of the Provincial Treasurer is not indicated in this resolution. So only the first item, Mr. Chair, which is already approved. May now proceed to item 40. Item 40 is a letter dated April 15 from the Governor requesting this August body for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Health Center for Health Development Northern Mindanao. This is with regards to the implementation of the MAIF or Medical Assistance to Indigent and Financially Incapacitated Patients Program for 2026 for BPH Maramag with an initial amount of 15 million pesos. I move to approve the request of the Governor and pass a resolution authorizing the Governor to sign the memorandum of agreement with the Department of Health Center for Health Development Northern Mindanao for the implementation of the Medical Assistance to Indigent and Financially Incapacitated Patients Program for BPH Maramag in the amount of 15 million pesos. So moving, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Item 41 is a letter from the Governor requesting this August body for authority to enter into a MOA with the City Government of Malaybalay to affiliate Upper Pulangi Lying-in Clinic located at Purok 3, Mapolo, Malaybalay City with the Bukidnon Provincial Medical Center as their referral hospital for maternal deliveries with communications. I move to approve the request of the Governor and pass a resolution authorizing the Governor to sign the memorandum of agreement with the City Government of Malaybalay to affiliate Upper Pulangi Lying-in Clinic located at Purok 3, Mapolo, Malaybalay City with the Bukidnon Provincial Medical Center as the referral hospital for maternal deliveries with complications. So moving, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
Items 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 are all requests for authority to sign contracts of various supply and delivery of items. So, subject to style, I move for an omnibus motion to approve items 42 to 50, subject to style. So, moving, Mr. Chair.
Objections, comments? There being none, the omnibus motion is hereby approved.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. We will now proceed to our third and final reading. We have 2 items for the third and final reading. Honorable Presiding Officer, may we now request our Secretary, Attorney Apollo Magwali, to read the ordinances.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. Third and final reading. Item number 1. Ordinance number 2026-017R of the 28th SP. An ordinance amending and revising the organizational structure of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the Provincial Government of Bukidnon, thereby separating the office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, revising its existing organizational structure, and defining its rules and functions for other purposes.
So those who are in favor of ordinance number 2026-017R of the 20th SP, say aye. Ayes have it unanimously. The ordinance number 2026-017R of the 20th SP is hereby approved on third and final reading. Mr. Secretary?
Yes, Honorable Presiding Officer. Item number 2, Ordinance number 2026-018R of the 28th SP, an ordinance establishing the provincial tagline of Bukidnon at Maraguay, Bukidnon, my home.
So those who are in favor of ordinance number 2026-018R of the 20th SP, say aye. Those who are in objection, say nay. There being no objections and the ayes have it, ordinance number 2026-018R of the 20th SP is hereby approved on third and final reading.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. We will now proceed to our other communication, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I move for the following, Honorable Presiding Officer. Item number 1, this will be forwarded to the Committee on Health for information and appropriate action. Item number 2, this will be forwarded to the Committee on Laws, Justice, Human Rights for information and appropriate action. Item number 3, this will be forwarded to the Committee on Environmental Protection, Climate Change, Disaster Preparedness for information and appropriate action. And item number 4 and 5, this will be forwarded to the Committee on Appropriation for information and appropriate action. Item number 6, this will be noted and requesting our Secretary to post the SP Bulletin Board regarding on the NWRB case number 2020-017. And item number 7, this will be...
Let's discuss. Number 7.
Yeah. Item number 7, Honorable Presiding Officer, this will be forwarded to the Special Investigating Committee for the boundary dispute for our information and appropriate action. So moving for the approval as presented, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Objections, comments? There being none, motion is approved.
We will now proceed to our other matters from the board members. Honorable Presiding Officer.
Honorable Garcia.
Yes. Next session, Mr. Chair, is May 12.
12, yes.
Yeah, may I request for a committee hearing on 2 ordinances authored by board member Marlon Dinlayan and board member Bobby J. Dinlayan relative to the Timbangan ng Bayan ordinance and the naming of the street, provincial road from Aglayan to Cabanglasan as Aki Dinlayan Road. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Chair, or 9:30, kaya aron makaabot si Dodo Palmada. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So who would like to invite the chair, the members of the Committee on Rules and Privileges?
And we'd like to invite the representative of DTI. DTI man. Dungan. Ano ba problema? Di mo gusto magdungan? Dali naman kayo ni. DTI, because this was requested by DTI, Mr. Chair, kaya apparently, tululang ka munisipyo sa Province Bukidnon ang nai-ordinance Timbangan ng Bayan. So, kita na lang sa province aron effective sa tanan. Entero probinsya. So, I would like to invite representatives from DTI and also representatives from the City of Malaybalay and Cabanglasan relative to the naming of the street. Kaya nipasar naman ta sa National Historical Commission. So, dinhin na lang ta mangonsulta sa City of Malaybalay and Cabanglasan, Municipality of Cabanglasan. Maybe it's baka appropriate person to invite the mayor or his representative. Yeah, mayor is his representative relative to the naming of that street shared by Cabanglasan and Malaybalay.
Is that not a national road?
Wala, Mr. Chair, provincial.
A provincial road?
It's not converted into a secondary national highway.
Yung kanagikan sa Aglayan going to Cabanglasan?
Yes.
That's still provincial road?
So, name, highway.
Ito ma-convert eh.
Mo bitan namin sa ito mga gipang construct daghan pa biya kayo nga provincial road nga gi spent og funds from the national government. But anyway, og di pa sila mangayo, di na sa nato i-convert kay mawa man pud sa tuwa.
Yeah. So they'd expect us to maintain it. And these are 12-inch concrete roads already. So yeah, Mr. Secretary, please make the necessary invitation.
Yes,
As
Honorable
manifested
Presiding
by-
Officer.
Yes, honorable ka sinabi.
I forget. I would like to request the secretary to take note that the GTS resolution will be given on June.
Yun.
Monday convocation kay mga Koreano na nga mo-attend ana. Then I would like also to request please send copy also to DepEd kay sila ang may direct contact sa mga Korean kwan.
Is their country president still Mr. Woon Julie?
Yeah.
Woon Julie, he's a good friend. Yeah. Woon Julie. Okay, Mr. Secretary, please take note of the request of Honorable Kasinabe.
This is noted, Honorable
Thank
Presiding
you.
Officer.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you, ma'am.
Honorable Presiding Officer, just query to Ma'am Bing if she has an idea regarding on that. Appeal mo na sa COICA, no? Katong Korean Cooperating Agency. Kanang GT, separate.
No.
They are
Ito na siya for classrooms.
yes, classrooms
Yes.
and other kwan.
They're more of a like more about brotherhood of kung sa Pilipinas sa brotherhood of Christian businessmen and professionals. Na more og religious based sila. Ang ilang kwan is ang ilang head ginila si Venerable Pum Nyam Sonim. Kwan sa he's a monk. Yeah. Siya ang guide anang kwan, Joint Together Society of Korea. And then they've been going around Bukidnon for like almost more than a decade already, and they've donated classrooms. No, 50 kapin na, almost 100 classrooms.
Oo.
Yeah.
We have 64 classrooms already being
Ah,
constructed
64 classrooms already.
in Bukidnon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kasagara gyud sa mga remote part
Very kanang mga
Jida.
mga jida. So ako po ganing gay kuan po sila gay request katong sa nasunog nga eskwelahan bitaw sa Talakag. Ako po tong gay lobby pod sa ilaha. Katong dito sa magi kag lantapan before ka makaabot nga it's still part of Talakag. Yeah. Semrayo no. In Manolo, I think they've given us mga 15 classrooms already. Yeah. So, yeah, please take note. Secretary's time. Okay. Honorable Garcia.
Those who ordered the commemorative coin for the Kamulan, 100 peso Philippine Festival commemorative coin na ana, get it from the governor's office lang. Kato nag-order. Kato yung 100 peso, nga 5,000 ang worth. Ang value, 100 peso ang worth, pero 5,000 kung imo paliton. Sarap sa kabuk, may tagtapian.
Oh. Just hold on to it kay siguro mga moabot na a few years from now bisin mo kuha na siya, bisin mo 1 million na pero mga 100 years from now po lagi.
Chairman, I query lang. I saw in the Facebook tag 600. Usa ta piki? Shopee, yes. Bawta na ako
Well,
ipangutan.
ang authorized ragyod is BSP.
Yeah,
Bangko
pero
Sentral ng
sa
Pilipinas.
Facebook ako ganitong screenshot.
Piki na
Tag
siya.
600.
Piki siguro na. Commemorative
Pero if
coin
you
kay
compare,
ang
kung
you can buy only
parehas.
this one from BSP. Bangko Sentral.
600 sa Lazada?
Yes.
Ha?
Oh.
Sa Timo,
Kaya lang
sa Timo 50 pesos ra sa Timo.
Pero almost parehag yun tanan, almost the same tanan ang kuan.
Na problema ka ma'am sa imong kuan ma'am? Nagpalit ka? Ano lang. Dito lang sa Lazada na lang. 600 ra. Okay. Sige. Secretary's time.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer, and for this body. First, we would like to thank for your attendance yesterday during our successful convocation.
Yes, very good. Oh, yeah, siguro ato nga kuta na ko karon nga semana. So, mabzun ko.
And my apology for mentioning Sir Jumix as Jumix Pipito. Actually, Jumix Fortich.
Gaw na ko na sila.
A second item, Honorable Presiding Officer, is that this is in connection with item 50, in which the Cotabato, Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Cotabato, keeps on following us up regarding the request for joint session.
Mr. Secretary, perhaps we could discuss that off air. Yeah. Yeah, after the live, after the session na lang. Let's go on the session, and then I'd like to request the members to stay for 5 minutes lang. Atuloy ng istoryahan.
Okay.
Let's do that off air.
Okay, we deference with that, Honorable Presiding Officer. We will proceed to next announcement. Friday will be the first Friday Mass sponsored by the SP and the PSO. That is May 8, 2026 at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Pila ang atong contribution.
So,
Tama. RN Palmada.
So that is so far the next activity that we sponsored. And for just further announcement, by the following week, again, the SP sponsors the fun run activity on the 22nd of May, early in the morning at 5 o'clock.
Is that a Friday?
Friday, Honorable
5 o'clock in
Presiding
the morning?
Officer. Yes, yes. So just around the Forest Park, passing through DPWH down to Gawad Kalinga Housing, and then at the back of the Kamolan Forest Park, then up to the Capitol grounds. So that's the road, Honorable Presiding Officer.
That's 3 kilometers.
Yes.
Kulangan ra si ko na. Board Member Palmada.
So far that the important announcement, Honorable Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you, gentlemen, and ladies, for attending our monthly convocation sponsored by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan and the Vice Governor's Office. You all look really good in your astronaut suits, no? So before we end, here's a a short story from an indigenous people. The title of the short story is The Two Wolves. One wolf is called Choice, and the other one is called Inner Strength. So the story goes like this. An elder is teaching his grandchild about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the child. It is a terrible fight between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. He continued, the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandchild thought about it and then asked, which wolf will win? The elder simply replied, the one you feed. We are what we imagine. And with that, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. I move for the adjournment of our regular session.
41st regular session of the 20th SP is hereby adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, stay for a while. Honorable Garcia, 5 minutes. So, okay. So, atong panuhon kung siguro para dili kay ta